Hey there, it's Jasper from Presley here today with a video on Business Wire's pricing. Now, as you can see on my screen, we've written a full article on the subject. If you want to get into as much depth as possible, I definitely recommend checking it out. All you need to do is Google Business Wire pricing and you should see it show right up. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to kind of briefly break down the different pricing factors of Business Wire's pricing and talk through the thinking behind them a little bit more. So I guess before even getting into it, kind of why have we created a dedicated article and video on Business Wire's pricing? And the reason is because they don't make any of it public. And we have a lot of people in the PR space and the PR software buying market looking for some answers as to how much Business Wire costs. So these aren't the official prices for Business Wire. This is just what we found in our research of looking at what other users are paying and what people have paid historically. But this should give you a general ballpark range of how much you should expect to pay if you do decide to sign up for Business Wire. And kind of the benefit of this video and these resources in general from our perspective is that it allows you to understand this pricing a little bit better before having to go through the process of speaking with the sales reps at Business Wire and going back and forth for a long period to realize that it might not be within your budget. So getting right into it, there are really three different factors that we've looked at here when it comes to understanding Business Wire's expenses and the costs associated with it. And so with that, you have word count, multimedia attachments, and their amplification add-on. So with the word count, just like PR Newswire, and if you haven't seen our article or video on PR Newswire's pricing, I also recommend checking those out because they also have a similar but different pricing structure. But with word count, similar to PR Newswire, Business Wire charges a base cost for a 400-word press release, and then after they charge an additional fee for every additional 100 words. So for example, if you have a 600-word press release, you'll be looking at $760 roughly for that first 400 words. And then for the other 200 words, you'll be paying $195 twice, right? So about $400 extra on top of the $760 base cost. Now, with multimedia attachments, what Business Wire does for their pricing is a little bit different. They charge a more expensive fee for the first attachment, and then after that, they charge a little bit less for every following. So for that first attachment, it's roughly around $425. And then with every other attachment you add onto your press release, you're looking to pay an additional $225. Also different from PR Newswire, they don't charge for you adding your logo. That comes for free. And from what we could tell from our research, that $425 and $225 pricing doesn't really change depending on the type of multimedia asset you have, right? So if it's a video or if it's an image or if it's a PDF, it's going to be roughly around those same prices. And so the final factor that we have here listed is their amplification add-on. This isn't the official name for it. This is just kind of what we've been labeling it as. And this is an add-on that allows you to get amplified visibility, engagement, analytics, and measurements over your press release. So this is really if you're more performance-driven about your press release and you want to figure out exactly how it's performing and also try to boost that performance, that's where this add-on comes in. And that's there for a single fee of $95. So that's generally how Business Wire's pricing works. Next, I'll just talk a little bit about kind of putting those prices into perspective. So I won't go through the whole hypothetical here, but in the article we do mention if you're going to pay for a 1,000 word press release with 2 attachments and amplification, you're looking at around $2,675. So that's really just to kind of put the full price into perspective for you. Another thing that we go through in this article that I won't fully dive into, but you can research more here, is just the idea of wire services in today's PR landscape and how well they work. So wire services follow a more traditional PR approach that's a bit more spray and pray, right? Just trying to get your press releases out to as many places as you can, which historically worked a little bit better, but nowadays really the PR space has turned a bit more towards relationship building, right? In today's day and age, it's very easy to contact anybody that you want. So now there's a little bit more of an emphasis over actually building relationships with people and trying to get coverage and trying to earn coverage on more dedicated news resources than just trying to spray out your press release into any random news source that will have it. Now, if you are working at a bigger company and you just want to get your press release out to a lot of different sources, less so for performance reasons and more so to get different publications covering you, then wire services are still a great tool. But if you're looking to use a wire service to actually get ROI and try to get strong performance out of it, we definitely suggest using a more relationship-driven approach to PR. So with that being said, last thing I'll mention here are just some alternatives that we have laid out. And these are all if you still want to do a wire service, but you kind of want to experiment with it more and you don't want to pay the full price that you would for something more premium like Business Wire or PR Newswire. So I have those all listed here in this article. Just to go through a couple of them, you have EIN PressWire that starts at about $99 per release. But you only get 5 channels per release, right? And that's generally the case with all of these is that you're going to be paying less, but there is a bit of a trade-off. So you'll see here everything we have listed ranges from $29 per release all the way up to $3.99 per release, which generally is still going to be cheaper than Business Wire and PR Newswire, though you are still spending some money. What I would say is with Presley starting at around $90 a month, if you want, you can also give Presley a shot and see if the relationship building approach works for you too. We are here to kind of help support you on that journey of figuring out how to send out and distribute a press release through relationship building. And we also have a 14-day free trial. So what you can always do is before trying to send out your press release through a wire service, you can try out Presley for about 14 days, see if it's possible for you to earn any coverage through that. And if it doesn't work for you, you're not happy with it, you can always cancel. There's no credit card required, and you can try out a wire service. Okay, so that is everything. Hopefully this article and this video gives you as much detail as you need on the subject. If not, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to add to this article more information if it's helpful to you and answer any questions that you might have. All right, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Bye.